Hello, hi, and welcome to KNTV. Welcome to the Inside Indian Football episode number 48. I think we have so many things to talk about. आज ही इंडियन टीम की announcement हुई है, a squad for the camp. So many people are happy with their favorite player getting called up. Many players not happy with some of the good performing players of this season have been not called up. So, but this still 38 man squad. This will get trimmed down. So we have to wait and see that how will be the ultimately final squad before celebrating for the selection of some of players like Jerry, who have been performing so well throughout last 3-4 seasons, and he finally got the prize for it and finally got the call up. So we have so many things to talk about. New cup competition, change of structure by AFC again. One of the most confused organization for me always have been AFC. I don't know what they think. Why their calendar was January to December first in place. Now they're switching back to the normal calendar from September, October to the June and July, just like the calendar in Europe. It's a good step, but again, it's a confusing step because of Indian football season. There are chances that we will have one null season, but what I'm told, I have update on that also. There is update on ISL next season schedule and structure, how it's going to take place, how they're going to manage the 27 games. As I've been told that there will be no 3 games for each team as it was planned, because the league and the club feels they are still not ready in COVID. Still the COVID days are still going on to have 3 games, home and away and home. So lots of to talk about, and of course we have the normal topics like the transfer market and what's going on in the Indian football. I-League has also restarted. There are some interest for the Indian Arrows players. Yes, but कहते हैं late. Arvindam Ganguly कह रहे Hormeet, Danesh Puita deserve a place. 100 Ishan Pandit and Suresh is laughing vlog. I think Suresh is on a vacation, says Anupam. I'm really so happy to see finally getting a national team call up. So everybody have some reasons. Amlan says UEFA over AFC. I think totally AFC have been very confusing for their steps now. When India decreased their foreigners, they ultimately increased the foreigners in the playing 11, the AFC Cup and the AFC Champions League. So I have update on that also. And there is a poll also is activated on the comment section, which you can vote and tell me your happiness rating for the Indian squad which are announced for the camp. And welcome Kumar Reddy, welcome Amlan, welcome Prateek, Bashant. Only Bahrain friendly, no, there's an update on that. So we're just waiting for some audience to build. I will start and let you guys know the that what are the updates on those. As of now, the friendly against Belarus is not called off. I was told last night that the friendly is still on. Of course, there was a report in the media that India-Belarus friendly have been called off, but as of now, AFF is saying the friendly is still on. Even if it is get called off, I think they are prepared to have have another friendly. To make sure that India plays 2 friendlies in this window in this time frame in March. So why most of the fans say Sahel is overrated? Is this misconception? I think it's just because the fans Sahel this season have been fantastic, and that's what I wanted Sahel to do this season. In terms of numbers which he has provided. And season before, of course, he was talented, and Kerala Blaster have so many fans. So they are fans who do online debate on social media, so they used to put Sahel is better than everybody, and then the other fans start feeling that he is overrated. But now if you see this season performance, you will say he's underrated, because he has performed so well for Kerala Blaster, not playing as a number 10 by the way, where he used to playing on wing, sometimes number 8, sometimes up front also. So I think it's a good learning season for him, and that also shows that what happened, you played under any progressive coach who has a playing style, who has a playing a patterns of play which can help players like Sahel. We have seen something very same with the Juan Fernando at ATK Mohan. The difference in the performance of Liston and Manvi, for example, under Habas and under Juan is totally at the different level. So I think that's what happened. You need a very good coach for these young players, and I think slowly now clubs also feeling that they need to build their squads around the Indian players, something which Chennai FC need to do. Anirudh Thapa, as you guys remember, we did an Inside Indian Football episode in January, and I told you guys that the situation with Anirudh Thapa is a bit different compared to Changten. He was set to stay, and he finally signed this 2-year extension. And the important point is that 2-year extension by Anirudh Thapa. That shows that Chennai FC also need to build the team. Around Untitled Chapter. So yeah, Jerry will not include in finally. And that's my point, that we might be very happy with the final 38-man squad, but you have to remember at least 15 players from this squad will get dropped. This is a bigger squad for the camp, because teams who are in playoffs, who are in semi-finals and finals, will not join the camp earlier. So of course coach wants to see more player, so we might see the similar kind of a team which we have seen in the previous matches. So I will take question, don't worry. There's a question. For now, there is no friendlies are planned. By the way, Belarus and Bahrain are only 2 friendlies. Kumar says instead of 5+1 rule, they can follow UEFA model where any player in Europe can play in any European league and 3 foreigners from outside Europe. Europe doesn't have this model, by the way. England have English club have more than 3 players outside Europe. Just to give an example, by the way, if I remember, I can just see the examples. If you see, even many clubs, top clubs in Europe who have, Real Madrid have more than 3 players outside Europe. So that's another example. I was just checking on Manchester United. They have Fred, Telles, Cavani, and I think there are a couple of more. Eric Bailly is also from outside Europe. So 4 players. So there's no rule in Europe in terms of the foreign players, cap and foreign players. But yes, Ankush, are you ready? So I have something to tell you guys, also share my personal experience. Ready? So okay, let me take some questions. In the meantime, Ankush will be ready. Ashish bhai, Ashdeep or Gaurav are leaving Odisha on free, right? Yes, their contract are getting expired, so they're leaving. Why is Jerry left back not included? Aryaman Ragade, I'm a big fan of Jerry, by the way, but I think considering how Akash Mishra is playing, you can have one young left back and then have, of course, Shobhashish and Preethams and Rahul Bhekes and these players to cover these position on the fullback position, provide cover for Ashish, Norim and Akash. But I've been always a big fan for the for how Jerry, the left back, by the way, always played well whenever I've seen him in India youth days. Of course, his form got dipped in last few seasons, but I think he still have potential to be the left back for Indian football team, and it's a great competition to be with him, with Jerry and Akash Mishra fighting for those left back position. But I think once in couple of years down the line, you will have these 2 players fighting for these positions. Still, we have to respect the IGOS Team decision to call up the experienced players, because these are very important matches coming up. India's fate for the AFC Asian Cup is dependent on these matches. Yeah, Kunal Punjabi, I will talk about this. I'm just waiting for my technical team to give me thumbs up for something. So let's talk about a mobile app, which I think I remember using it very early, and I'm great that they have reached out us for this activation with KNTV. So for today's episode number 48 is sponsored by none other than OneFootball, and OneFootball, I think I remember when back in 4-5 years ago, there are not many apps in mobile who used to provide the live scores, and that's where I think I started using OneFootball, and I was very happy, felt very good when they reach out us for this activation. OneFootball have nearly 5 crore downloads just on Android platform, by the way, and they are 4.5 rated, so that's tell you about all the qualities OneFootball have. And also regarding OneFootball, you can get your latest updates, transfer rumors, highlights, scores, not just from the world football, for the ISL also, and for the I-League also, all other Indian leagues. They also taken the broadcasting rights for ISL on a global level. So I think it's a great match for Indian football and for OneFootball, and for us to be work together in this. And I think they have 200 leagues, by the way, which they are covering. So you don't need any other app for scores and news and everything. You have OneFootball on your phone, and also they have they provide 12 different languages which you can choose. Of course, I think we Indians mostly will pick the English language. So I think thank you to OneFootball for sponsoring this video, and of course going ahead I will talk about more about OneFootball in this video. Now let me go topic wise. There are lots of questions, and of course the link the link to download OneFootball app is in the description tab, where you can go and download the app on Play Store, on Apple Store, App Store, and follow your favorite team, favorite leagues, and get very fast notification of any goal scored by your team when the match starts, and when the match finish, and of course get the latest stats and everything that will be there for ISL also. Now let me go ahead and talk about AFC calendar. Let's talk about national team first. So as the national team have been announced by Indian head coach Igor Stimac, there are, as you see on thumbnail, there are 8 players who have been called first time to the senior team. These players have been part of the youth teams, but they are called up for the first time in the senior team. Gill have done fantastically well for Kerala Blaster as a goalkeeper. Mohammad Nawaz, I think this season have been mix of season for him, but he has done well in previous season, so I think he deserved a looked in. If a coach wanted a progressive goalkeeper to play, so I think Mohammad Nawaz can be the option. And other than that, Deepak Tangri, who played for under-23 team, now is also got the call up to the senior team. Norim Roshan, who has provided most assist by an Indian player in this Indian Super League season, I think deserved call up for him. Vikram Pratap Singh played for under-23 team, if you guys remember, done very well, so he also got called. I think kudos to VP Sohair, keep on performing well for his club in last few seasons. Finally got his call up. I hope he make it to the final squad also. Aniket Jadhav also, and Jerry, who have been doing so well in last few seasons for Odisha FC. And you can see the full squad in your screen. Ankush, can you display the full squad please? And I will go through the position wise, and then I will tell you my views also. दिखा रहा है? Yeah, as you can see full screen on screen, Gurpreet keep his place, Aminder Singh, I think these 2 goalkeepers will be there. It's all toss-up between Dheeraj, Gill, Mohammad Nawaz. I think if we talk about form, I think Gill deserve to be there over Dheeraj and Nawaz this season. Defenders, of course, Pritam Kotal, Ashutosh Mehta, Saritan, all have been part of the previous squads. They are still there. Ashish Rai, who have been called up but didn't get much chance to play, he's also called up. Rahul Beke keep his place. Sandesh Jingan keep his place. Deepak Tangri get his first call up, by the way. He played for under-23 team, but this is senior call up, his first call up to the senior team camp. Narendra have been played under Igor Stimac. Sana kept it place. So Ashish Bose, Akash Mishra, Mandaro Desai, Roshan Singh. So I think a decent setup, but I think one name which is missing there is Ruiva Horimpam from Kerala Blaster. I think one of the best centre back this season. Maybe his injury, he's playing with the mass right now, maybe his injury has played the role, but would have been lovely to see here in these set of defenders, at least to the camp, but considering he will be also playing in the playoff, if Kerala Blaster reach, maybe that's the concept that he wanted to see more of the players who have not reached the playoff. Midfield, we have Udanta. I think Udanta has done enough this season to keep his place with the Indian team. Vikram Pratap Singh get his first call up. Anuj Thapa keep his place. Pranay Haldar, mix of season, have not done much, but has kept his place. Jixon Singh, deserving recall, you can say. He was part of the Indian squad before. Glenn Martins, not played much and out of form, but he's kept his place. So I think there maybe Puyuta would have got a chance instead of him. Brendan have an injury hit season, but he kept his place. VP Sohair, I think great news. Hope he make it to the final squad. Apuya is there. Sahel, there is no question mark on Sahel. Yashir keep his place. Ashik keep his place, by the way. Aniket Jadhav gets the another first call up. Changte recalled. Bipin Singh keep his place, and Jerry Mointhama. I think that's the headline, is Jerry is getting his call up. Manveer, Liston, Sunil Chetri, Rahim Ali. It's a forward line, is a known forward line. So that's the Indian squad. मैं बहुत बढ़िया हूँ, आप लोग कैसे हैं? So Mumbai City form is worrying. They're going to play ASL. What do you think, Sanjay Kamant? That I will come on that. Over Parnoy and Glenn, I would have kept Puyuta and Thoiba, says Amlan. I think of course there's case for Puyuta, there's case for Thoiba, but I think you have to if if coach goes and drop every of these new player like Jerry, new player like VP Sohair, new player like Norman Roshan in the final squad, then there will be questions to be asked. I think it's a decent first call up for 38 people, 38 players. I know 4 or 5 players who have missed. There's a Ruyam, there's a Puyutya, Jitender, Danesh Farooq, Hira Mundal. There's a question mark on a couple of these player fitness. Hira Mundal is also going through the recovery phase. I think he'll have a surgery. Puyutya is fit, by the way. Ruyam is just come back with a mask, face mask to play. Jitender is also injured. So there's some question mark on these player fitness. I think overall decent squad, but depends on what they do with the final squad. That's very important, and if you see in final squad the Jerry is dropped, VP Sohair is dropped, Norim Roshan is dropped, Gill is dropped, and other 3 goalkeepers make it, so then I think then will be not justified. This is just our initial squad. We have to wait and find out what will be the final, at least 23 or 25 or 26 man squad before judging this squad, I think. And I think every player should get enough chances to impress the coach in the camp, and and I hope that this squad will be not trimmed further before the camp. So I will just check if I have said anything regarding this. So the team will start assembling in Pune on the March 10th, and the practice starting from the next day onwards. Those players who will be playing the semi-final ongoing will be joining the camp as when their club commitments end. So that's the thing. The list will later be penned, and contingent will fly to Bahrain on March 21. The Blue Tigers scheduled to play Bahrain 23 and Belarus 26th, with both matches kicking off 9:30 p.m. So AFF official release still says Belarus game is on. That's what I've told you guys right now. Igor Stimac said playing against better teams is the best way to improve our own game. 2 friendlies are part of a preparation for the 3rd round of the qualifiers, and we need to show some resilience and creativity. The 2 matches should enable our players to mature and gain experience against stronger side, but all of them it's start of the competition to gain and the coveted place in the starting lineup in the June qualifiers. He said, I have been watching every single games, admiring the boys for giving everything they have for their clubs. It's have been trial and for everyone involved since the pandemic started, but the job needs to be done. At the same time, we need to commend the super organization capabilities of the 2 leagues being held simultaneously under the same current circumstances. That too, when football activities all over stumble a bit. So I think 2 leagues, but there is no place for any I-League player, by the way. So yeah, majority of the players have been called from ISL. All the players have been called from ISL. So I think that's why the players are behind these ISL deals. Regarding now, there will be couple of updates regarding the structure of the ISL, AFC in next couple of minutes. But let me take some questions regarding this squad announcement, and then we'll move to the ISL structure update for next season. How the AFF is going to tackle the situation of the playoffs for the next AFC Champions League, because as there will be 1 season need to get null and void. So I have update on that also. Why Suresh is not in the squad? I think that's a major mark. Suresh is dropped or is injured. I have to have to check it, because I'm not sure he's injured right now. But he's done well whenever he's played for India, and I think he's done well in the under-23 games also. So not sure, maybe he has not played in recent games for Bengaluru FC, so maybe it had to do with something with his injury. And surprisingly, I didn't check on Suresh that and recent games he have not played much for the Bengaluru FC. One player I'm surprised that who has not got a call up from Bengaluru FC is Danesh Farooq. I think he has done well in that midfield role for them. Suresh didn't play the last 2 games for Bengaluru FC, so I think it's something to do with his injury. Anwar Ali is the one other player which is not called up, but then I think if Anwar Ali did not have as good season as Ruyam from Kerala Blasters, so I think if we talk about centre back, first we need to talk about Ruiva Horimpam from Kerala Blasters instead of Anwar Ali. Is Kerala Blasters sporting director extended his contract? I will come on ISL, guys, don't worry. I think Sandesh Jingan deserved the call-up. I think you can't drop your one of the most experienced centre-back for one of the most important games in his tenure, because if he don't qualify for the AFC Asian Cup, his jobs will be in the danger for sure. I think so. He has to trust his experienced player. That's why not any of the experienced players have been dropped. I think, of course, you will see in the camp, many of these experienced players have not played regularly in ISL this season. So I think decent, I will say decent squad. It's just 38 men squad. It's a big squad, so we are seeing the new faces. Will these new faces make it to the final squad? I think that's more important question right now, instead of us reacting on the squad announcement. As 74% of you says that they are happy with the squad announcement regarding the Indian football team camp for the camp, this squad for the camp. Ankush, I request you to keep on showing the logos and all. Why not Ritvik Das? I think Ritvik has done very well in Jamshedpur, but I said maybe too early for him. This is the first season where he's playing very well, and maybe it's kind of he want to wait for the maybe easier match, because he don't have many matches to try before the qualifiers come in June. There will be some off season in between. There will be another camp. There will be, I think, couple of more friendlies before the actual matches happen. We are lacking Indian players. Forward says Ishan Panta may be called, but I think the way Liston and Manveer have been playing, I think, and also VP Soyer have played. So I think we have to compare that. Will you call Ishan Pandita over Liston, Manveer, Sunil and VP Soyer, maybe if you count him as a forward? So that's the point. I think some of these players have performed well. Of course, Sunil Chhetri comes on his experience and his legacy with him, not just form. But Manveer and Liston have been doing very well in recent games. VP Soyer have been doing very well in Northeast United, scoring those goals. So I think that's the thing. Now let's move ahead and talk about the AFC calendar and the changes because of that calendar in Indian football. AFC have changed their structure of their Champions League and the AFC Cup. It will not start in January anymore. It will start in the August, September window again and goes till the June and July, just like the European football. That's one thing. They have also increased the number of foreigners in the playing 11. 5+1 will be allowed in the playing 11. What does it mean for Indian football? Because ISL and the I-League went to the 4 foreigners in playing 11, 6 foreigners in the squad, which will be 1 Asian and 5 normal foreigners. So I think now the structure will be changed again for the playing 11. I will tell you what ISL are planning for, what I think could have been done in going ahead. Maybe I think they should allow 5 foreigners in the playing 11 and maybe have 2 new franchisees. So every Indian players, if you're removing from the playing spot, there are 4 foreigners playing, and if you remove 1 Indian players, there will be 11 Indian players who getting their spots trimmed from the current playing 11. Those 11 players can easily make the core of the 2 new ISL team. So because of this change of calendar from the AFC side, now for AFC slots, which means this year AFC this year winner, I-League winner, and this year League Shield winner, and next year League Shield winner, and the next year I-League winner, who will go to the Champions League next season. That's very important. Now what I'm hearing right now, this is the information I'm going to tell you, is for the Champions League spot, there will be ISL sealed winner from this year and next year playing a playoff. For the AFC Cup AFC Cup group stage, there will be I-League this year winner and next year Super Cup winner playing against each other to get that AFC Cup spot. And for AFC Cup playoff spot, ISL trophy winner from this year and next year will be playing double leg playoff to qualify for the AFC. I will just repeat. Let me also just give me a second. Also sending to the team. So let me repeat, and I hope if people are using this information, they credit it back to us, our channel, or to this video. How they're doing to plan this इस साल का जो ISL लीग शील्ड विनर होगा और अगले साल का लीग शील्ड विनर होगा, आपस में खेलेंगे. आई लीग का इस साल का विनर अगले साल का सुपर कप का विनर आपस में खेलेंगे फॉर AFC कप ग्रुप स्टेज स्पॉट, and ISL trophy winner from this year and the next year will play against each other to get the AFC Cup playoff spot. तो ये करने वाले हैं instead of nulling the one season from the Indian football. I think that's a good idea. I think the many fans recommended this. So that's the information on the AFC calendar. Regarding the change of calendar and regarding the number of foreigners, I'm heard that there will be 5 foreigners allowed in the ISL again. But I think increase the 2 teams in ISL or one team at least, and they can sign these Indian players if the number of Indian players if the many Indian players promoted to the fringes, those can easily loan back to the new club, because making squad is not easy. I still feel there's not good enough quality Indian players to have 15-16 clubs. We have seen with East Bengal not able to sign good squad in last few years. So that's the news regarding the AFC calendar and what Indian football is planning to do from the next season. What is the difference between club and franchisees? Franchisees concept came from the US, by the way. They don't have a club, they have franchisees. So, and club is like a normal European football club we see. In India, you can see, when ISL started, everybody was franchisees, but East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, they were the club. So, franchise is more of a tournament. A big businessman come and start a franchisee with the finances power and try to, develop sports. But club are historical, which are there for years. And now slowly ISL franchises are getting converted into club. They have their own offices. Earlier, most of the ISL team were operated from Bombay. Now most of the ISL clubs, earlier the franchises, they were operated from Bombay. Now these ISL clubs have their offices in the home state, home city where they're based out of it. Ankush, are we ready for the mobile recording part or not? So yeah, we will. I have something to show. Ankush bhai, one football का advertisement दिखाओ, says laughing walk. So so ये देखते हैं. Belarus के against match is still not called off. Hemil bhai, don't worry. Ankush bhai, pushkar. Simply Rahim is better than. Now that's the thing I have told about the AFC calendar and the issue and everything. This is the exclusive information I have told you guys. Now coming to the national team, I have taken that ISL calendar. Now there's a chances there will be 3 tournaments in the part of the Indian football calendar now, which will be counted for the 26 games by each team. All the ISL team will have their participation in the Durand Cup next year as their first team, not as Bangalore FC reserved or Bangalore FC B team. Everybody have to send their team under the first team umbrella. So Durand Cup, the talks are going on to make it, part of the calendar. There will be Durand Cup, which will count as the number of games for the AFC competitions. Then there will be ISL, then there will be Super Cup. So that's how they're going to complete the 26 games for next season. And after season, I think there will be some changes, but this is for this season. They will be going to do this for upcoming season, that they will have a Durand Cup. The talks are going on to make Durand Cup the part of the calendar, and make sure that all the ISL teams send their whatever team they send, but they should send their team under the umbrella of their first team, not as a reserve team. So that's the thing. And then there's the ISL, and then there will be Super Cup. So that's the calendar for ISL. Other than that, transfer market is started getting the heat in transfer market now. There are multiple clubs interested in the multiple players from Indian Arrows. I am told the talks are going on with the AFF regarding which clubs will get which players. So I think wait for a couple of weeks, maybe once I-League get over, first phase of I-League, there will be some news coming up regarding the Indian Arrows players joining these ISL team. Will next year I-League winners play ISL? Too early to say this time, but I think there will be some kind of integration happening with that, but I think we still have to wait for the confirmation. I can't give you the confirmation for the same. That's one thing. Anil says man of the match. Ankush bhai says Joseph. Any BFC news and their pre-season news on new target and their stadium next season? I think the talks for Sri Kantevira Stadium still going on. They can't create a new stadium straight away next season. I think they will need some time. For what sake AFC roadmap is proposed just to put in dustbin? I think you have to see that COVID has disturbed everything, I think, for now. And I think it's important to get everything back in the limited capacity to the pre-COVID days. So that's why they have 3 leg games have been not introduced. Next season also they're still keeping home and away because they still feel it will not easy to have going to particular city twice for one team. They want to make sure the traveling is still limited. Even if one day planning the fixtures for the next season, what they're trying to do is once a team goes to the east, maybe they play northeast, Kolkata once, and then come back to the home. So I think that's why the fixtures will be drawn. So I think still maybe they would have implemented it properly if there was no COVID. Now the COVID is the reason. I think we can say the implementation didn't happen accordingly. So if you guys liking this video, please hit the like button. Ankush ji कुछ बोल रहे हैं? Ready? So again, let me take. Can you guys give the Indian player name again? I think Ankush, let's shows the Indian team squad again as somebody is requesting on the screen before moving ahead. And I can also tell you the new players who have been called up. Other names are the same. This have been for the record, the 8 players have been called first time for the senior team camp. Important senior team. Many of these players played for India youth teams. Gill from Kerala Blaster, Mohammad Nawaz, Deepak Tangdi, Roshan Singh, Vikram Pratap, BP Swear, Aniket Jadhav, and Jerry Moinkhama from Odisha FC. These are the 8 players who get their maiden call up to the Indian team camp. This is 38 team squad, by the way, but it's also very important. The final squad will get trimmed to 23 or 25. So. What is this option of cutting the video? 25, and so we have to see that how Igor Stimac decide which players he will go. He has to remove at least 15 players from this squad to make it 23. So let's see which players is removed. Is the AFF working on grassroots? Of course, they have some plans of doing grassroots football, but last 2 years it have been disturbed. Can India play in Asia Cup? India have played in Asia Cup in 2019. They can play. Already called Mandar and Pornoy. Of course, India can play FC of Deepak Mina. Komal Tatar is still in the recovery phase. Now, before moving ahead, let's talk about one more time for the today's sponsors, which is OneFootball. I think one of the football app have been using for last 6 to 7 years since my college days. I think I remember OneFootball getting launched around 2014 or 2015. I'm not sure, I have to check, but I've been using it for a while, and they are one of the sponsor. As you can see on a screen, you can easily go and find out, the Indian Super League teams, their stats, their fixtures, the notification for the goals update, halftime, full time, also the transfer news. They are also one of the broadcasting partner for the Indian Super League on the global level. You can download the app from the description, and they provide the coverage for the 200 leagues, 12 different languages, and you get the transfer news for all the European teams, live scores for the Indian Super League, I-League, stats for Indian Super League are there, and it's free of cost. You can just download and support us also. They are one of the sponsors of this channel now. It will be great if you guys go and download the OneFootball app. Link is given in the description tab. Thank you for OneFootball for sponsoring this video. So let's move ahead now. Let's talk about the ISL, how ISL is going on, and what that think about the final table which has happened in Indian Super League. Let me also open the table in front of me. So I think it's kind of a locked for Jamshedpur FC, HK Mohun Bagan and Hyderabad FC. It's toss up between Kerala Blaster and Mumbai City FC, I think, for the final spot. Of course, Mumbai is dependent on Goa to beat Kerala Blaster in the final match. I think overall throughout the season, I will say Kerala Blaster deserve to go through. I hope they go through. The reason being, they have played well throughout the season. Mumbai, they started well, but their performance after the first phase of the league was not that well. Kerala Blaster performance went down, but it was because of the COVID and everything. I think Kerala Blaster performance throughout the season was good enough to be them, a part of the top 4. And it was great to see 3 new clubs getting into the playoff: Jamshedpur FC, Hyderabad, and Kerala Blaster. Also, Jamshedpur and ATK Mohun are going to head-to-head for the League Shield trophy, and I think Jamshedpur FC have 1 game in hand, so I think they will hope that they win that 1 game and try to get the League Shield as their first trophy, which will be a great achievement for Jamshedpur FC. Credit will go to the management, trusting Owen to build his team, giving him all the tools to build his team. I think that's great. I'm surprised with the FC Goa performance. Chennai FC, they started so well, Chennai FC and Odisha FC both. And both the team when they mattered, their performance went down. Bangalore FC has a mix of season. I think once in between they were looking very good, but ultimately they also didn't have enough in them to qualify for the playoff. So I hope it looks like this might be the top 4 which we are seeing right now, and in the same order I think we might see. So that will be good for Indian Super League to have 3 new teams in the playoff, this time around. And I think this is the first time playoff for the Jamshedpur FC, Hyderabad FC, and Kerala Blaster, of course, reach final and playoff in past. So I think it's great for the Indian Super League. So what are you guys disappointed with your team performance in this season? Which team has surprised you most to be in the top 4 position? If I ask, if I tell myself, I think from the pre-season and how the Durand Cup went, I was surprised that initially I thought Kerala Blasters made a good squad. The Indian core was always good. Foreigners, I think I rated the foreigners a lot. Eden Luna, many people rated him high. I thought that how he will adjust to the Ivan's strategy and formation, but I think he's done so well. The coach integrating Luna and Sahel in those wide roles. So I think I'm surprised with the overall Kerala Blaster inclusion in the top 4, but I think very happy for Kerala Blaster fans. I think they deserve all the happiness they're getting. Will home and away system will again get started in AFC Cup next year for Indian football clubs? Yes, I think ultimately, hopefully, if COVID outbreak is not there, the home and away system will get started. There is another thing which I want to touch upon and ask you guys about, regarding the Russian Federation wants to join. I think this is just rumor at rumor state, but there's some reports in Russia that Russian Football Federation might join AFC because UEFA banned them. And what do I think about this? Let's keep the politics or the war and everything outside. Just talking about sporting angle into it. Will you guys be happy that Indian club going to Russia to play the AFC Champions League game? So just again, I don't want to get any opinion on the war side, but I'm just talking about the football side. Will you guys like Russia to be part of the AFC Football Federation? Which also means if they come, they might fight for those World Cup spots and another big competition for the India in future if they want to get into those getting those 8 spots if World Cup get expanded to 48 teams. Do you think FC Goa will bounce back? I think FC Goa have good management behind, good strategy behind. I think they should bounce back, but it's important for them to get the coach they want. It's good for Asia. Kunal Punjabi, Yash say no. Anupam Bhattacharya say no. Will they get thrashed all? No, too tough. Do you think that's have taken? Russia is good for AFC, says Ganesh. Will there be new team in ISL next season? I don't think there will be new team in the ISL. Ankush, keep doing your job of displaying those logos. Any update on HFC players who recovered from COVID? There are false COVID alarm at Hyderabad FC. Some players have come negative in one test, then they come positive in some test, and this happened in past also in the ISL. So hopefully they get sorted before playoff and they get the full team back, because didn't felt very well when the Hyderabad played depleted squad against Jamshedpur, I think. But of course, earlier the matches get postponed in this situation. But I think now they are also under pressure to complete this season, because IPL is coming. So there will be pressure from Star side also to complete the ISL on time. What kind of coach is FC Goa is looking for next season? Anish, typical that the same coach they like Juan, like Sergio Oliveira, who can play progressive football, who can integrate the young footballers from the youth teams into the first team, play the attractive football, fight for the top 4 spots, get the trophy for them. They're still looking to win that ISL trophy. Suresh Khan, what is the team? What about Reliance Young Champ? The program, they're still going on, by the way, but the scouting and the tournaments have not happened because of the COVID. So I hope it start getting resumed now. What is your opinion on salary cap? Is it necessary for the future season? I will love to get salary cap removed. I think only thing I care about if there is a percentage of salary cap getting spent on the grassroots. So if you say whatever amount of salary, and I recommended this in this channel many videos ago, if you spend 30 crores on your salary of your players, say 5 to 10% you have to spend on your grassroots football in your state, in your city where you're based out of. I think that will solve the purpose. If somebody want to build the team at 10 crores, let them build it, I think. And we know club have been playing with the salary cap. There are ways to play around it. So I think it doesn't make sense to have a salary cap, if you ask me very, very seriously. Do you think OFC will make, permanent any foreign extension? They can, but all this excitement regarding Odisha FC when the season started, and they again went the same route, change of coach again, assistant coach getting the coach. Let's see, I think which player they retain. As of now, there is no news on the regarding retention of the foreign players. I think they still see that they will do another reboot now next season. Why Sunil Chhetri is in team after having such a flop ISL performance with Ganesh Nayak? I think good question. As I said, you can ask same for the Glenn Martins, Pranay Haldar, all these other Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, Aminder Singh, all these experienced players. But I think experience matters. When you're playing these pressure game for India, when there's the goal matter, you need to qualify for the AFC Asian Cup, you will need Sunil Chhetri, cool mind to guide these young Indian players. So I think it's important that he is there when they are integrating these young Indian players like Liston, Manveer, or VP Sawyer who's coming in, Changtes and these all, they will need experienced player on the pitch in front of them to lead them. I think Sunil Chhetri will be there for India, and I hope that Sunil Chhetri goes and retire on high by playing in the AFC Asian Cup next year. Is Airam extending his contract for next season? The talks with Odisha FC have taken place, but there is no decision taken till now. You can't drop Sunil Chhetri until he say goodbye, say disappointed. Okay, dash. Any update on AFF election? There is no update on AFF election. Chhetri can't be omitted so early, says Laughing Wog. AFC will become a good after Russia joining. I think, but physically, or not physically, but logistically, it will be very tough. Say if India is in the West group, Indian club going to Russia to play Champions League game. So that's the main problem of Asia. Asia is very huge compared to Europe, and these Champions League game, AFC Cup game get complicated. And I think there is already news that the AFC might remove West or East. Again, conference model to implement the model. I'm not sure AFC models, they keep on getting changed. What about ISL Reserve League? There is no update this season. I think next season, let's see that where it goes in terms of the ISL Reserve League. I also want to thank Yash Bhatt, who has completed 2 months in this channel as a member, and I think, as you guys know, membership is on in this channel now. You guys can just join our channel for 119 rupees, 100 rupees which you know is, and 19 rupees GST. उसमें से Google भी काटेगा, Google बाबा भी पैसे लेगा. Yeah, so we'll get at least 60-70 rupees from that membership. But it's not about money, but it's about that, you know, guys supporting us, encouraging us to do more work, and we have a big plan for this upcoming season. Not just for the kabaddi, by the way, for Indian football. We have the podcast will start resuming very soon from the studio. The guest lineup, the list have been prepared. We are trying to figure out logistics and bring them in Delhi to do the podcast. तो काफी कुछ आने वाला है इस चैनल पे. BFC transfer update. Many people are asking. I don't have any transfer update this season. Today I was more concerned about the AFC calendar, implementation of the next season, national team and all. So not worked on the transfer update as of now because clubs are still playing. They have, of course, prepared the list for the player they want to sign. And to give an example, the Indian Arrows players have been approached by many of these clubs, but still AFF is saying wait. We have to wait for the I-League season getting stopped before we can, request for the transfer of these Indian Arrows players to the ISL. Russia should be in East Zone to balance AFC Champions League. Then they will be playing with South Korea, China and Japan club. I think West Zone will make sense for them, but I'm not sure. Russia is also big. They share borders with East Asia also, West Asia also. So not sure how logistically it will be possible for the clubs to have a AFC Champions League and AFC Cup game. Maybe home and away it should be. I'm not happy with having games at the one venue for sure. Should Des get removed? I think that's very controversial at this stage. I was impressed with him when the season started, but I still felt he didn't done enough to get his team bounce back to the form. So I think let's see how it does in the AFC Champions League. We have to wait, and then maybe we can decide that he should be removed or not. Ashish, we are not playing in FIFA World Cup finals. Why will you get tension? FIFA World Cup finals? No, I'm saying if Russia join us, AFC, they will take one of those 8 spot when the World Cup get expanded to 40 teams. So India will have another competition. That's one thing, and I'm happy with Russia to join in because that will bring these European clubs. But then will these Russian clubs have that purchasing power to get these European players to them, because the European passports help them to sign these players under UEFA rules and regulations. So वो सारी चीजें हैं, complication है, but I think love to have AFC, just like Australia will have Russia, but I think only concern is these countries taking those World Cup spots, which means getting tougher and tougher for India. That's the only thing I want to say. There is again something happening in East Bengal with investor. What's your thoughts about it? Sanjay Thakur. I don't touch upon the East Bengal sponsor investor news much, very honestly, Sanjay bhai. Last season also, only talked about when anything was get confirmed. It is very early stage to say that this particular company is interested. That's not how the investors comes on board. If you guys remember how Siri Cement came on board. So I think just have to wait and get confirmation before we can say anything. But I hope they get stability. It's important. East Bengal is one of the legendary club, one of the pioneers of Indian football. They should not have the season like they have been having on the last place every season. Not able to make solid team every season. So that's the thing. Next match of Indian team, and when Indian team is playing matches again Belarus and Bahrain on March on the March. They're playing in Bahrain, by the way. We have match against Bahrain on 23 March, and we have friendly against Belarus on 26 March. Both the match getting kickoff at 9:30 p.m. So yeah, 175 votes have come in. Are you happy with the Indian football team squad announced for the camp? 75% said yes, 25% said no. So overload भैया, 23-26 मैच कितनी बार बोलूँ? अच्छा, लाफिंग वॉक भाई, मुझे जहाँ तक लगता है मैं लाफिंग लॉलुंग वॉन्ग को जानता हूँ. मुझे लगता है कि मैंने इनको पहले बात करी है. हाउ डिड बाइचिंग बूटिया गेट वर्क परमिट टू प्ले फुटबॉल इन इंग्लैंड? दैट टाइम वर्क परमिट rules were very different when he played for Bury, by the way. That's one thing. They were in the championship, not in the Premier League, and those rules were different. Now the work permit rules got tougher and tougher for these European clubs, for Premier League especially. And when Bury was playing in that time, I think they were in the League One, if I remember correctly, not in the Championship also. So I think, but it was a great adventure for Baiching Bhutia. I've seen those videos of him, old interviews of BBC where he was giving interviews when he signed for Bury. It was the news in England, the Indian footballer coming, and Baiching played very well against Manchester United in the FA Cup. Did okay, got injured in multiple times, and that's made his stint short. He gave a trial with Aston Villa also, if you remember correctly, read it correctly. So I think our players need to go and play outside. That I will say. Bro, really, I'm regular here, been absent for a few weeks. I know, but I think I know you from before from this channel also. Any Indian players in Europe? Nobody is trying to go to Europe right now. Should Des continue in Champions League? I think he should. I will not remove a coach before a big Champions League matches. I think he should continue. How Ashin bhai? I didn't forget. I laugh lalung wong. I think मैंने आपको पहले भी कहीं आपसे बात करी है in Facebook groups or something. I'm saying if ATK Mohan Bagan or Jamshedpur FC referee are we dating on God साहब जमशेदपुर FC आनंद. Any signing update from Odisha? भैया अभी कोई signing update नहीं है अमलान. अभी you have to wait to get any updates. Is there any possibility of 2 new clubs? I think unlikely at this stage. Abhinav bhai, any new clubs joining in? I think just give me 1 second. I think does not change the playing style or constitution. That's why I think that's my point. When the team was doing well, he was looking good, and when the team form started going dip down for the various seasons, there was not enough done from his side to change the playing 11, to change formation, to get back in form. I think that's where I think his lack of experience at the head coach were shown. That if he has played enough games like these, he would have made changes to his playing 11 formation, and then make sure this team get back on the form. That's the thing. Is there any there is no possibility. There is no possibility. I think unlikely 2 new clubs next season. अभिनव भाई मैंने बता दिया आपको. Nogdamba Norem. I'm a big fan of Nogdamba Norem since I've watched him in Jalen Stadium taking on those fullbacks for India under 17 teams. But I still feel he has not done enough justification to his talent here and there. Bad transfer moves. I don't know what happened from Kerala to ATK. The ATK to Goa has not played much. I hope he bounce back next season, have a solid season with FC Goa next season and come back in the form. Just give me 1 second. I have to just check one news. Okay, so I kept something for exclusive, but other media house break it, so no issue. So I think couple of questions more, and before we end this, and before we move to the ending stage, I think this video is sponsored by OneFootball. You guys can download their app. The link is given in the description tab, and thank you to OneFootball for sponsoring this video. OneFootball pop-up. अच्छा जोसेफ बार याद दिला रहे हैं अंकुश को. That's why Shan Pandit and Dinesh. I think 4 or 5 players have written. I think Rohivab, Horyam, Puita, Jitinder Singh, Danish Farooq, Hira Mandal. I think these 4 or 5 players should have been part of it. Many of these players have been not called because of the injuries issue maybe. But second thing is also Ishan Pandita. I think will you drop say VP Soyer, Manveer, Liston, Sunil Chetri for Ishan Pandita? That's the question you need to ask. I think he could have been called. The strikers are less, but I think Igor Stimac teams, if you see, he always want to make sure that he has more more midfielders in his squad than strikers and defenders. I still remember Lokomotiv Moscow thrashing Real Madrid, says Kumar Reddy. Russian clubs have been done well in Champions League and the Champions League and in Europa League. So I think that will be great for Asian football, but not sure with the structure how it will come and get be done at national team level and the Champions League level also. But I'm not sure their clubs will play AFC Cup because the China and Japanese club doesn't play in the AFC Cup also. आज का मैच पर थोड़ी चर्चा करें. Yes, before we move ahead, that's good thing. Thank you अमलान आज डिसाइड करने के लिए. आज के मैच पे भी थोड़ी चर्चा कर लेते हैं. एक सेकेंड आप मुझे दीजिए, मैं एक सेकेंड just open my notes again what I have written. Important match for Jamshedpur and Odisha FC. अमलान भाई आप उड़ीसा के फैन हो, but I think this is the match. If Odisha surprise Jamshedpur FC with the draw or a victory, that will open up League Shield title race between ATK and Jamshedpur. So I think important match for both the teams. Odisha FC, you can say the shoulder will be down, the team is not performing well, but Jamshedpur FC has every reason to make sure they win this match. But we have seen in past the teams in this situation like Odisha FC is spoiling the party for the team. So now every team who are not part of top 4 might spoil the party for these teams who are fighting for these top 4 spots or the League Shield trophy or the playoff spots. Chetri should have been rested, youngsters should have been given chance instant, Will Sibuza. But you will need Chetri in the qualifiers, right? So it doesn't make sense to rest it right now. He need to get integrated with the players because he don't get much chance to build the chemistry with these Indian players playing together. Should Mumbai City FC sign any player? I think they have already done the signing. Changtes and Vinit Rai, these are the signing done for the AFC Champions League. So I hope they do well in the AFC Champions League. So let's see. No bro, laughing. Long Walk says no bro. Chetri will get rested after a few years. Hopefully, I think hopefully we get to the AFC Asian Cup for Sunil Chetri. If India doesn't qualify for the AFC Asian Cup, we'll go one step closer to Damulist. If India doesn't qualify Asian Cup, ISL will go one step closer to. I think ISL will still remain there. National team games will matters, but club performance do matter more. Do you think Hyderabad has a chance left for the Shield? I think considering the situation they are in, I don't think the Hyderabad FC have any chance to qualify because it's getting complicated again and again for them with the player injuries. And I heard they are really fake, not fake, but some tested showing positive. Some test showing positive to COVID positive to players, some showing negative. So I think, and they lost the important match against Jamshedpur. I think to bridge that gap in short span of time with 1 or 2 matches is not easy. Are you happy with India? India won 2 matches against Denmark in Davis Cup qualification. I was just keeping check. Wanted to go Davis Cup match, but then that mean I might miss this show today. It's take place in Delhi only. But I think fantastic was trying to follow up as many. Somebody from our team is there. I was asking him score and everything. I watched tennis first time from the stands when I watched India versus Spain Davis Cup match, if you remember correctly. I think it's totally another experience watching tennis from the stands. Hugo Mo ego is affecting his playing time at ATK Mohun Bagan with the management coach. Juan Fernando, other players are tired of him, want him gone as soon as possible. Vishal Shrestha. Another Hugo Umo transfer saga then maybe for the next season where he will go now. Goa, Mumbai, now ATK Mohun Bagan. Who can afford his wages at this stage? I think will Kerala pay that money? I don't think so. Maybe Bengaluru FC. That's the thing. Hockey updates. India has done well in the Pro Hockey League. We won against Spain once, lost second match. While the first match we won was a great comeback, by the way. Girls have also done well in the hockey. So we are trying to bring a weekly show of all sports where we'll have 4 or 5 people from our team sitting down, giving updates on particular sports. So just bear with us. As just like Yash Bhatt, you can get these badges next to your name by taking that membership and support us for all these different sports we want to do. And we have bigger plan for this upcoming year. Viewership of ISL this year, can you tell it's low? Ananda, it's low. It's definitely low. Not at the same level in the past season. The engagement in the ISL digital is also low this season. I don't know why, but we'll have to figure out reason. But it's not at the comparative level of the previous season. So that's the worry sign for the Indian footballer ISL this time. Hugo was a beast at FC Goa, 11 goal, 10 assists in 15 matches. So will Anish Rane take Hugo Mo back at FC Goa? That's important thing. Do you think India qualify for the 2026 World Cup, taking into consideration the present progress of youngsters? Williams Buza, I have touched upon this. I still feel we are still far away from the getting qualified to the World Cup. But if we keep on working with our senior team, if we can activate our under 23 team parallelly to senior team, just like we can arrange something, if you're playing the senior team matches, we can put some couple of friendlies for under 23 matches, say under 23 team at the same window, which means more Indian players getting exposure at this top level. That means we'll have a bigger talent pool, more player to choose. I think these kind of initiatives need to be get implemented. More game for youth teams, not only the games when the qualifiers get activated. They should play regularly. They should play regularly for the Indian youth teams, not just when the AFC qualifiers get activated. And the grassroots development and the youth leagues and the regular cup competitions. So these are the lots of stuff which AFF, FSDL, Indian Football Fraternity need to do before we think about the World Cup. Do you have any idea on promotion relegation ISL? How many years it will implement in reality? Can you guess? I think we're going to see major changes in ISL in 2 year time. By the time 2024 come, I think we'll see major changes in ISL in terms of broadcasting, format, the team, the franchisee fees. So we have to wait. I think we're not going to see many changes till 2024. That's what I think. Personal opinion, nothing to quote any sources in this. Will CFC will give contract to Vasquez, Mirlan, Koeman, Salvaco? I think couple of players already in talk to extend their contract, Bishant, but can't say that particular players which you have mentioned. But couple of foreign players are already in talks with Chennai FC to extend their contract. You are playing 11 for the friendly. As these are friendly, I will go with as many informed players. I will give debut to Gill. For the first game against Bahrain, maybe I will give Ashish Rai as a right back. I will put somebody like Deepak Tangri and Sana in a full back, Akash Mishra in the left back. In midfield, I will give chance to Jackson Singh and Apuya maybe, or maybe Thapa. Then as a number 10, I play Sahel. On wings, I will play Changte and Liston, and I will play a friend, Manveer Singh or Rahim Ali. I will go with informed players, see how these players do, and then of course second friendly we can get the experienced players also in. As 5 subs will be allowed, you can always bring experienced players as the game goes on. Will I-League team added to the next season as per roadmap? No, I don't think so. I think it's tough to say that it's getting implemented next season. Any Kerala Blaster players extension update? I think it's important for them to get the coach extension officially. The clauses are activated, but I think he will sign the new deal with the Kerala Blaster, not the old deal will remain. Can ISL do like add 7 foreigner squad as per the AFC rule and make a rule like 4 in playing only in ISL? 6 is already there in squad. They will allow 7 on the squad, I think, but I think they're going to increase the number of foreigner. It will be very costly for the ISL team to sign 7 players, just play 4. I think we'll see 5 foreigners playing for ISL team in the playing next season. Can you tell us why Sandesh is not suspended? Yeah, nothing will change in Indian football for fake reality. Ananda Mohandas. I think it was a very bad comment on his behalf to make. We can't say that it was made in the heat of the argument. When he apologized first time was not good enough. Second time, of course, when it got very serious, and then he apologized again. Could the AFF ever find him for this? I think this rules and regulation, it depends on the AFF committee to discuss. And I think we should respect, and I think as Sandesh has already apologized, he already got the national team call up, so I'm not sure that this topic will get again come up from the AFF side. So I think they have just given him warning. Maybe ATK Mohan Bagan could have done more, maybe, in terms of maybe finding him or something like this. Maybe AFF could have fined him, So, but the comment was the, under the belt, for sure. उड़ीसा FC के बारे में थोड़ा बोलो नेगी जी, सीरियस भाई. यार उड़ीसा FC के बारे में क्या बोलूँ, मैं बहुत तारीफ किया था उड़ीसा FC की सीजन के स्टार्टिंग में. मैं उनके प्रेसिडेंट से भी एक पॉडकास्ट किया. I thought that they are learning from their past mistake. And they're implementing, they're doing good signing. Overall, their squad was good. I was hoping their striker, Jesus, will do well in ISL. They started very well, by the way. But again, same old story. Somehow they have to, they needed to remove their, head coach. And now they're back to zero again. The same Indian players, they will see. Then they will again reboot in terms of foreigners. Will they continue with Kino, or they go back to They go back to the another foreign coach. That's very important. No, why 4 foreigners are good for development of Indian players. Overlord, I have a solution for this. Allow 5 foreigners in playing 11 or a 6 foreigners if you want, but then introduce 2 new franchisees, which means the couple of those 2 players who getting out of the playing 11 can sign for those 2 franchisees. That will be 22 players getting removed from the playing 11. Those 22 players can go to these 2 new franchisees, and that will balance out, and that will also solve the purpose of having 26 games. That's the thing. आशीष भाई, स्पोर्ट्स मैनेजमेंट से क्या स्कोप है इंडिया में? भाई स्कोप तो देखो, डिग्री इज जस्ट देयर टू दरवाजे पे ना घंटी बजाने के लिए डिग्री का यूज होता है. वेरी वेरी ऑनेस्टली आई एम सेइंग, यू विल गेट स्पोर्ट्स मैनेजमेंट डिग्री, पर अल्टीमेटली यू नीड टू लर्न दैट सम स्किल्स in particular domain which you want to get excel and get experience and then get a jobs. A degree in sports management might give you a job, but ultimately you need to know how to get work done. That's most important thing I have learned in last 4-5 years. So there is a scope if you can learn properly, make connection and then get a job and then learn in the job. But वो बहुत important है कि डिग्री के साथ साथ आप experience लो real life में what you want to do in your life. Because of Sandesh Jingan, ISL viewership got down. Many Kerala fans have stopped watching ISL. Ananda Mohan Das. I think that's already viewership was down for ISL this season. If we're getting more down, then I think that's a very complicated situation for ISL on this. But ISL can't do anything. It's the AFF discipline committee which need to take decision, because they are the one who fines and the charge players for these disciplinary ground. Do you think Gokulam Kerala should be promoted on merit for the ISL being with the I-League this year, champion from 2022-23? Gokulam Kerala will be a strong bet if you ask me from I-League teams. They are the one of the team who are ready right now, who can get ready for ISL, might get finances accordingly. But will Kerala Blasters and management and the fans will want a second club from Kerala? Kerala is good enough to have 2 ISL teams. That's my opinion. North Kerala, South Kerala. I think North Kerala, South Kerala, and they have enough fans to support 2 teams for sure. And this might the Kerala football culture is coming back, but this might put involve more fans, football fans in football if they get 2 clubs in ISL, and the internal derby between two clubs we have already seen in social media. You might see on a football pitch also. भाई वन फुटबॉल वालों से 10 लाख पर एपिसोड चार्ज करो से सारा बनाना करते हैं भाई. आप लोगों का सपोर्ट बना रहेगा तो दिन भी जल्दी आएगा. इट्स लिटिल पर्सनल बट इस खेलना profitable, says Anish Rane. That's the aim, yaar. Anish bhai, next couple of season that we want to do, break even independently, run our business. We are not, as you know, we are not dependent on any big media house to run this business. We have been I think only few independent media houses in India who have been doing everything for last 6 years now. We launched in 2016 for Indian football especially. तो वो कोशिश है, जारी है, लगे हुए हैं उस बारे में. तो देखते हैं. Anwar really not being in the Pro Bowls is very unfair. I can say that, but I think it's still half a season he played. Maybe coach wants to see more regular ISL before he can call him up, because 2 centre back position kind of a locked for him. Maybe you'll see Sun and Sandesh playing. Then there was he didn't want to drop Subhashish, Pritam, Rahul Beke, because they can play on the full back position also. So I think that might be the reason. Havi के बारे में थोड़ा बोलो. I think हावी, इफ़ यू रिमेंबर, आपने मेरा अगर वो प्रीव्यू वीडियो देखा होगा उड़ीसा एफसी का, मैंने बोला था हावी आपको डिफरेंट अवतार में दिखेंगे उड़ीसा एफसी में, एंड वही हुआ. ही लुक्ड मोर अटैकिंग कंपेयर टू एटीके मोहन बगान अंडर हाबास. सो होप दे रिटेन हावी, एंड आई थिंक द उड़ीसा प्लेड द बेस्ट फुटबॉल when Havi was top of his own game. So I think it's important they still keep this squad together, make couple of changes, get a good coach, and don't do the complete reboot again. Yeah, that's good, but it's really possible for 2 new clubs. Any talks going on? It's not possible. There are no talks going on right now. Next season for sure it's not happening. I think maybe after the next season we might see maybe getting 1 club from I-League, 1 new franchisee from Ahmedabad or something, and maybe 2 new franchises, 1 club from I-League, make it a 14 teams leagues. Will be perfect scenarios. Then you can have 6 foreigners in playing squad. That will maintain the quality of football also, by the way, having 6 foreigners in a playing 11, and will spread the football if you have 3 teams from 3 different locations. So I think that's the way to go ahead. If AFC is increasing the foreigners, Indian club can't be having a disadvantage playing with lesser foreigners in domestic league, if then going to AFC Cup playing with the more foreigners. As it is now, the games will happen the way ISL will getting played. तो वो मिड वीक में AFC कप के गेम्स होंगे, वीकेंड में ISL होगा. सो आई थिंक वी नीड टू मेक श्योर आवर लीग इज ट्यून्ड विद द AFC रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन एंड द कंपटीशन अकॉर्डिंगली. तो वो चीज़ है. नेगी भाई यहीं है भाई, अनिल पटेल कहीं गए नहीं. रंजीत बजाज factory is working, I think so, that's why Anwar and Riva says Ananda. I don't think so. I think there are many players who played for Minerva are part of this squad. Jixon, to give an example. Is there any European club tracking listing class or Mishra Apuya? There is no European club tracking of these Indian players. I think we are too early for our clubs getting tracked by European clubs. I will be very honest. Is Hugo Umbo leaving ATK Mohan Bagan? I'm not sure. It's a long-term contract. I think only way I can see him maybe going outside India. I'm not sure any Indian club will take a punt on a kind of salary he demands. Has Ado Ortiz have left FC Goa camp, by the way. उसके अलावा काफ़ी क्वेश्चंस हो गए हैं. Did Kerala Blasters receive AFC license? They've received the temporary license for this season. Now they do again for the next season. Don't you think Kerala Blasters team ने ले लिया है? So I think Indian football, Buddhajit, yes, Kerala Blasters update I've given. The updates I have. So guys, if you have not liked this video, hit the like button, and we want to again thank our sponsor OneFootball. I think it's a good that more and more these sponsors are taking note of the KNTV now. It's because of your love and support. So keep supporting, keep liking our video. There lots of content is coming up, not just in Kabaddi and football. We are planning to do more content in hockey, badminton, and maybe I'm not sure, but basketball or tennis. We are thinking to do more content on this channel. So stay tuned. This is a journey to 1 million now. If you guys keep subscribing, recommend to us our fans, your friends, it will help us. Negi bhai, why Odisha is always underrated? I will say they're underrated by the way, but the performance have been not good by the way. I think the government support, I think no state government support their ISL club as much as Odisha government does. So I think they need to justify that support and get the performance on the pitch, where it matters. Whatever do off the pitch, it's matter on the pitch, I think, and they have to at least try to reach playoff, according to my opinion. प्रदीप नरवाल किस टीम में खेलेंगे? अरे प्रदीप नरवाल कबड्डी में है अभी. देखो वो ऑक्शन में जाते ही नहीं जाते हैं, बड़ी खबर है. न्यू पॉडकास्ट मैं बहुत ऑनेस्टली बता देता हूँ क्यों नहीं आ रहा है रिडेम्पशन भाई. मैं ना थोड़ा बोर तो नहीं बोलूँगा, कैसे बोलूँ, थक गया. मुझे जूम का फटीक हो गया था. जूम पे पॉडकास्ट करते करते मैं थक गया था. एंड आई थॉट मुझे वो किक नहीं आ रहा था अपने अंदर से कि मैं एक और पॉडकास्ट जूम पे करूं. आई हैड वेरियस ISL कोचेस हु आर अवेलेबल फॉर द पॉडकास्ट. My only thing is we created this new studio. We are building another studio now. My main idea was to bring the guest here in the studio and do the podcast. तो वो आइडिया था. So hopefully that will get resumed very soon on this channel. I have prepared a list of guests who I want to bring in Delhi studio and do the podcast, because वो feel अलग होता है यार स्टूडियो में बात करके सामने. वो जूम पे ना मजा नहीं आता, पता है, सही बताऊँ. भाई जमशेदपुर gave contract to Greg Stewart, वो कहीं नहीं जाएंगे. I think he'll stay at Jamshedpur. Owen stays. Big mistake done by Mumbai City FC by letting go player like Hugo Umbo, says Rudra. Any foreign preseason now with Durand Cup playing an important role in AFC calendar, you know, I'm not sure many club will have a foreign preseason until they start at very early. Rohan is very happy on Jerry, best owner of ISL, says Ananda Mohan Das. That's great. Liston is an amazing player, but as a winger, he need to put a more crosses in a box. Also, he has to do some time. I feel Liston and Manveer should play together a front 4-2-2 formation. I have discussed this on the previous episode. You can go and check the 46th episode, I think, where I discuss about this formation and how I can see Indian team playing in next decade of 10 years. Which player I can see. So you go and watch that episode, you will feel that how Liston and Manveer can play. We can play without that center forward, you know. Put Brandon and Sahel on the wings, by the way. And people watching like this live stream episode, people watching, please like the live stream episode of Khelna and Ashish bhai. Thank you. Rumor चल रहा है कि हुआन हुगो की लड़ाई हुई है, वो ATK मोहन छोड़ रहा है. बंगाल में ऐसे रूमर्स आते रहते हैं, टेंशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. हुआन तो अब ATK मोहन बगान में ही रहने वाले हैं. इट्स अ प्रोजेक्ट, ही हैव बीन डूइंग वेरी वेल. लेट्स सी व्हाट हैपेंड विद हुगो. आई थिंक वी स्टिल हैव टू वेट. आई थिंक लेट्स ISL finish and then we can call up anything on this. Kerala Blaster was unhappy with Durand Cup. Do you think ISL team going to play Durand Cup again? They will have to, even if they say reserve team, it have to be under the umbrella of the first team. It will count for the 26 games for the AFC competition. Hormy is better than Narendra. Let's not compare our young players. Of course, Hormy has a better season. I think he should have been part of this squad. But let's see. What is the fascination of getting franchises from different region? just like getting franchises from Kerala as a Kerala Blasters, Chennai FC, I think that's one thing, because Chennai football kind of dead before the Chennai FC came or Kerala Blaster came. There are clubs who are playing from these regions in I-League got shut down. Same way Hyderabad, you can take an example now. Fateh Hyderabad came before Hyderabad FC, but didn't happen much. You can talk about Kolkata had clubs, so ATK Mohun, FC Goa didn't have, they have the football club. For a reason like Ahmedabad to get a franchisee might boost football in that region, you know, and that's the way, because getting franchisee means getting a businessman who have a longer, who has funds to sustain the market. So that's why franchisee is easier instead of getting a proper football club from a region. Why didn't India play FIFA under 20 or under 17 men's or women? Because India didn't qualify. Rudra bhai, इसलिए India नहीं खेला. Your take on Indian Arrows batch? Mixed take है. ज़्यादा not excited, but there are some good players. Have to watch them more, very honestly. उस stop and start की वजह से ज़्यादा हमको देखा नहीं है. Podcast आएगा, laughing lalong, tension मत लीजिए. Beyond the score with the new logo. As I tell my creative team sitting behind the camera that we need a new logo for Beyond the Score, and you will have a guest in the studio very soon. We are going to resume the Beyond the Score podcast on this channel, and the tactical videos for national teams also coming up. Just hit the like button now. I think it's enough for today. Thank you for joining the poll, and of course this video is sponsored by OneFootball. The link in the description to download their app for free. Which club looks strong but not clubs look strong but not strong? श्रेयस, आपका सवाल ये है कि कौन सा क्लब आपको पेपर पे स्ट्रांग लग रहा है पर स्ट्रांग नहीं दिखा? आई थिंक मुंबई, उड़ीसा लुक स्ट्रांग इन द पेपर्स इनिशियली, they didn't done well. उसके अलावा बाकी टीम की मैं बेंगलुरु सोच रहा था मिड टेबल रहेंगे, वही है. बाकी टीम आई थिंक डिसेंटली वही है जहां उनको होना चाहिए था. So thank you guys for joining in. I will see you again now 6 p.m. Friday. Inside Indian Football will be there every week for you guys. Thank you for joining in.